In a world where entertainment meets athleticism and challenges come wrapped in cash prizes and global viewership, something incredible happened on a MrBeast's video. Neymar Jr., one of the world's greatest footballers, stood under pressure not from a World Cup stadium, but from a friendly YouTube challenge. A penalty shootout worth $500,000. Facing him was Higger, a lesser-known player with nothing to lose and everything to gain. But for those watching closely, this was more than just a game. This was a lesson in mental strength, composure under pressure, and the kind of peak performance that comes not just from physical talent, but from a finely tuned mind and body. What we witnessed was a masterclass in handling stress, staying grounded in chaos, and unlocking the health habits that fuel greatness. This story isn't just about football. It's about how you and I can use the same principles to elevate our own performance mentally, emotionally, and physically. Even if we're not stepping up to a penalty kick with the world watching, the moment MrBeast laid out the rules, tension filled the air. But Higger's journey in this challenge was just as illuminating. He wasn't a world-class footballer, he wasn't sponsored, and he didn't have decades of experience at the highest level. Yet he stood toe-to-toe with Neymar, smiling, confident, and composed. That confidence wasn't just luck. When MrBeast teased him with the cash, saying you can beat Neymar, okay, believe in yourself, it wasn't a joke. Self-belief is one of the most powerful tools in human performance. Scientifically, belief in your own abilities triggers a chain reaction. It regulates cortisol levels, enhances focus, and increases dopamine, the motivation chemical, the difference between choking under pressure and rising. 2. The occasion often lies in how much you believe you belong in that moment. Higger's clutch performance, especially his final midfield shot that sealed the $500,000 win, was the result of staying calm under pressure, something that can be trained in all of us, regardless of fame or fortune. Let's break down exactly what happens in the brain and body when we're under pressure. The human stress response is governed by the hypothalamic when you perceive a threat, whether it's a penalty kick or a tough conversation. Your brain sends signals to release cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate spikes. Breathing becomes shallow. Muscles tighten. Focus narrows. This is useful in survival situations, but prolonged exposure or inability to manage this response leads to poor decisions. Muscle fatigue, mental fog, and even long-term health problems like hypertension and anxiety. Athletes like Neymar have trained to regulate this response. Through repeated exposure to pressure, visualization techniques, controlled breathing, and body awareness, they train their parasympathetic nervous system to engage faster, restoring calm in the storm. For the rest of us, these same techniques can be used before exams, interviews, performances, or even social situations that spike anxiety. Visualization is one of the most underrated tools for performance. Neymar likely visualizes every shot before he takes it. Science shows that visualizing success activates similar neural pathways as actual practice. It builds familiarity with the experience, so when the real moment arrives, your brain doesn't panic. It recognizes the situation. Higger, too, likely imagined himself winning before he even kicked the ball. This mental rehearsal allows you to feel the emotion of success ahead of time, making the real thing less shocking and more achievable. Visualization, paired with breath work, is one of the most effective ways to handle high-pressure scenarios. Breath control techniques like box breathing, where you inhale, hold, exhale, and hold for equal counts, can stabilize heart rate, calm the mind, and shift your nervous system out of fight-or-flight mode. These are the tools that turn ordinary people into clutch performers. Let's not forget the role of physical health in peak performance. Neymar's physical conditioning allows him to perform at elite levels consistently. But it's not just about strength or cardio, it's about recovery, sleep, nutrition, and inflammation control. Sleep is a cornerstone of performance. During deep sleep, the brain consolidates memory, the body repairs muscle tissue, and hormone levels lack of sleep impairs the Imagine Higger stepping up for that final shot after pulling an all-nighter. Chances are, he wouldn't have had the clarity or physical precision to make it. Nutrition, too, plays a huge role. Foods rich in omega-3 south antioxidants, magnesium, and clean proteins support brain function, reduce inflammation, and help regulate mood. Athletes like Neymar don't just train, they eat and sleep like champions. There's also something to be said about humility and support under pressure. At one point in the video, Neymar literally coached Higger on how to make the shot, pointing at the camera and offering guidance. That level of sportsmanship reduces pressure, not increases it. When someone shows you belief, it lights up mirror neurons in your brain that say, if he believes in me, maybe I can believe in myself too. Supportive environments are crucial for human health. In fact, social support is one of the strongest predictors of recovery from stress, illness, and trauma. Just like Neymar eased a challenge for Higger, we too can be that calm, supportive presence in someone else's life. And when we receive that same support, our mental performance improves dramatically. Another powerful lesson from this challenge is the concept of flow state. Psychologists Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi and Mihaly describe flow as the state where skill and challenge are perfectly balanced. Time disappears, focus sharpens, and performance peaks. In the video, both Neymar and Higuer appeared to hit flow at different times, effortlessly shooting, calmly engaging, and laughing even under pressure. Flow isn't reserved for athletes. You can enter flow writing, coding, painting, or even during conversations. To achieve flow, reduce distractions, increase skill building, and immerse yourself fully in the moment. Physiologically, flow state involves a release of neurochemicals like dopamine, norepinephrine, and endorphins, all of which contribute to improved performance and long-term well-being. Now let's talk about long-term health habits that support this kind of mental and physical edge. First, regular movement, not just exercise, but mobility and posture. Improves blood flow to the brain, balances neurotransmitters, and improves mood. Second, hydration is a major player. Even slight dehydration impairs cognitive function and reaction speed. Athletes maintain optimal hydration levels to ensure split-second decisions and muscular coordination. You can too, by starting your day with water and reducing caffeine's dehydrating effects. Third, recovery is not optional. Stretching, sauna use, cold exposure, and naps are used by top athletes to reduce inflammation and restore nervous system balance. Finally, purpose and routine. Both Neymar and Higuer have routines. Morning practices, game day prep, mental check. These routines reduce decision fatigue and promote consistency, which is the secret to lasting health. Beyond all these tips and science, perhaps the most powerful lesson from the MrBeast's Neymar challenge is this. Pressure reveals preparation. Neymar was anti.com because he, as a celebrity, he was calm because he had prepared repeatedly for high-stakes moments. Higuer wasn't lucky. He rose to the challenge because he had the belief, the calm, and the composure to seize the opportunity. In life, we all face moments that feel like penalty kicks. The question is, how are you preparing now, before the moment comes? Are you breathing deeply? Are you sleeping enough? Are you practicing self-talk, visualization, and hydration? Are you moving your body and feeding your mind? There's also a deeper message about identity. Neymar's identity as a world-class footballer comes with expectations, but he doesn't let it paralyze him. He uses it to stay motivated, focused, and humble. In health, identity plays a big role. If you see yourself as someone who's unhealthy or weak, your actions will mirror that belief. But if you see yourself as someone who is becoming stronger, more disciplined, and more capable under pressure, your brain and body will adapt accordingly. This isn't just philosophy. It's neuroscience. The brain's neuroplasticity means that with consistent input, you can rewire your stress response, your confidence, and your performance. By the end of the video, as Higuer sinks the final goal and celebrates with cartoon whales flying around him, the moment is pure joy. But it's more than entertainment. It's a metaphor. Life will offer you moments where you're up against giants. Sometimes the goal will look impossibly far. The pressure will be immense, and your doubts will scream louder than your dreams. But if you take care of your health, if you train your body, sharpen your mind, fuel your brain, and believe in yourself, then you will discover what Neymar and Higuer already know. Pressure dose in, T-crush you. It reveals you. Thank you for watching and for investing your time in your own mental and physical wellness. If this story inspired you, remember, you don't need to be Neymar to perform under pressure. You just need to train like your health and future depend on it, because they do. Like, share, and subscribe if you want more powerful lessons from health, science, and stories that matter.